Hi guys, just checking that it's recording. I did one yesterday for 20 minutes and wasn't there. Today I'm just going to talk about how far I've come. I think everybody knows by all the videos that I do about my health that I've come from right down there, back up again. And I need to share with you what I'm doing. But first of all, if you want to follow me, I've got to talk about. I've read many books. I've read like in excess of 140 books. But the two books that resonate with me are Dr. Graham's 80-10-10 and Kevin Hinton, Nature's Cure. His book Health. There is another word in front of it which I can't remember. But I've got to say that I have tweaked my diet. So when I say about Kevin Hinton's book, I'm a raw vegan, so I don't eat any cooked at all. I don't eat eggs. So I only use part of the book. And the part of the book I use is for the 8 things that we need, in life to be able to be, to arrive at true health, like sunshine, sun baths, hip baths. And I'm also with a Nature's Cure practitioner that guides me because I'm not truly healed yet. I've got a lifetime of abuse inside me, and it doesn't take 3 years. It takes weeks to feel amazing. It only took weeks for me to feel amazing, but I'm still not at my peak. Although I feel like I can fly. I feel like I'm at my peak, and my body functions like I'm at my peak. But I use a Nature's Cure practitioner, and it didn't cost a lot of money, and it was well worth the money that I actually spent because I was taught so much. Victoria is who is my practitioner, and if you send me a message, I can give you a link to a email or something. So so I use a Nature's Cure practitioner. I don't follow Kevin's book to the letter, and he said that I'm doing very well. I stick to raw, so I tweak the diet. But what I have tried to stick to is the amount of food. So this is where I don't stick with 80-10-10, although I still primarily follow 80-10-10. I found that 10% fat wasn't enough for me, so I'm probably eating nearer 20% fat, because I have gone with other Nature's Cure doctors as well, and they advised me to up my fat. But this is where I would say in the beginning, if you're really gonna need healing, then cut out the fat altogether. Don't go with fat. But so I go through healing crisis. I went through a healing crisis just recently, and I'm really ill when I go through a healing crisis. And the reason I know that I'm going through one is, 1, I don't feel very well. 2, I take my temperature. So I would advise that you get a thermometer that you can put in your mouth. Hold it in your mouth for 4 minutes before you actually press start. After you've held it in your mouth for 4 minutes, press start. My temperature is usually around 36.6. So in a healing crisis, it goes above 37, and I'm amazed when this happens. It went to 37.2, and I felt awful. So what I did is I took to my bed. Try not to worry about anything. It's very difficult if you've got people in the house that need you, but you have got to put your own life raft on first sometimes. Otherwise, you're going to sink, and you're not here anymore. So I take to my bed for 2 or 3 days. I don't eat anything. I don't feel like eating anything. And all sorts of things go on. I have the temperature. I get a horrible taste. I smell under my arms. And I just, my herpes might just come back. But the virus, because I say this every time, we're full of toxemia. This, you know, we haven't got illnesses. We've got toxemia in our body. And the toxemia is going to find its way out. If you've got pimples, if you've got spots, guys, this is toxemia, you know. Have you got acne? It's toxemia, you know. And they say don't eat nuts. Well, yeah, leave off the nuts for a little while, you know. But I'm going to, you know, like once you've healed, then you need your nuts and seeds and everything else, you know, or maybe you don't. But I feel I do. But right, back to this. So when I've got herpes, I get a breakout. Like you've seen cold sores on people's face and they're all pus-filled and bleeding. Well, I used to get that below really badly, but now I only get one little breakout, and it's been explained to me that the toxemia has got to leave the body. So it'll either leave the body with you'll have a runny nose, you'll cough up phlegm, you'll have all this acne on your face, you'll have herpes down below. And as you get these healing crises, more crap comes out of the body, more crap comes out of the body. Never ever to enter the body again, as long as we don't start introducing what caused the problems in the first place. Wheat, potato, white potatoes are not good for us, guys. You know, coffee, tea, bread, you know, anything other than a plant-based diet is putting toxemia in our body. Cooked food is taking our white blood cells up. If you can't come off the cooked food, guys, you've got to put half raw with your cooked, and then your white blood cells are not, because it's all about the blood. Both sisters can tell you, I'm breaking my heart about my sisters. Their blood is not right at the minute, you know. So I'm going to fight and fight even harder to maintain what I've achieved now with my body. So, yeah, so this is really hard when you haven't got anything written down. Sorry, guys, and I want to try and keep the videos sweet. So we're arriving at the fact that it's toxemia in the body. So every day that I, in the beginning, and I didn't know anybody in the beginning. For the first 8 months, I didn't know anybody. And I was on heavy tablets, the sleeping tablets and the nerve tablets. And I was really frightened, you know. But I bit the bullet, and I almost immediately, but I'm not asking you to do this because I've got Victoria now. 2 years later, I've got Victoria. She will advise you, you know, or somebody can advise you about your tablets. But I just did it alone, and I was fine, you know, thank God, because of my heart and everything. I'd suffered nothing, you know, in the beginning. I had no healing crises. I was just, you know, like cleaning, my body was just, but then I got hit with a healing crisis, got hit with another healing crisis. And I will tell you straight, guys, when I'm hit with a healing crisis in the past, I think, oh, the diet's not working, you know, the diet's not working. The diet is working, or our species-specific diet is working to the T. We got to get the crap out of us, guys. We've got to get the crap out of us. So, yeah, I'm where I am now. My body. I know I go on, and people then send me messages saying, you know, that I'm perfect as I am. I look in the mirror, and this is why I stay in a shaded area, because I don't criticize myself on the videos. You can't see what I'm seeing in the mirror. But guys, look, I haven't got bat wings anymore. I had Angie bat wings before, and I couldn't wear these trousers because of the bulges in my legs. I've still got a little bit, but the body at 61, it's amazing. The dramatic changes that come about our bodies. My boobs used to be under here, you know. They're not perfect, but I'm you know, I'm happy with what I got. So the healing crisis, you're going to go through, you know, you're going to get headaches, you're going to get all sorts of different things when you start this diet. Embrace it, because it's nature's way of healing you. Don't go and take an aspirin or a painkiller, because you're reintroducing the toxins in your body. So you might just as well not eat a good diet. This is an amazing thing. Yesterday, I went through a healing crisis about a week and a half ago, and I was really, really ill, you know. I was crying and I didn't feel well. I had slight hip pain again, had the herpes and sore throat and runny nose, and my throat was hurting here. But I did a silly thing. On the third day of my not eating, the day after that, or 2 days after that, I went and had blood tests. And then I went for the results of the blood tests, and the doctor said, phenomenal, phenomenal. You know, all my criteria, you know, like vitamin B12 has doubled. I do this for you guys. I do it for the young ones. I do tests on myself. You know, it takes guts to do it, but I do it. And so I left off my vitamin B12 because before starting the diet, I was lacking B12, even though I ate meat. Well, anyway, my B12 on the supplement, on the spray, and it's a brilliant spray from Holland and Barrett. You don't want to get any other one. It's called Boost. Holland and Barrett in the UK, 4 sprays in the mouth a couple of times a week, in the cheek. And I was doing this for a couple of years. Victoria, Nature's Cure practitioner, advised me to come off. It's nature's way, guys. No herbs, no supplements. It's nature's way. And I thought, ooh. And then because I wasn't feeling well, Julie put a seed in my head. She said, maybe you're lacking B12. So I was straight down the doctor's, booked the appointment, and so the blood tests, all perfect, B12 gone from 300 to 600, vitamin D, all criteria at their max, except for urea. Well, we don't want waste in our pee, guys, you know, so if the urea is low, that's fantastic. It shows our body's working. Anyway, the doctor said to me, how are you feeling? And she's Spanish. I can't explain myself. I tried to explain that I've just come through, you know, a healing crisis. But doctors don't know this. They don't practice this, you know. I've got more knowledge than my doctor, you know. So she said, you've got a urine infection, a UTI, a urine infection. And I had been having a little bit of discharge from below for quite some time. So only slight. I didn't need to wear a pad. And sorry for any guys listening. I didn't need to wear a pad, just a slight discharge. So, oh yeah, buenos dias. So, yeah, so she said, you've got a urinary tract infection, a UTI. She said, you're going to need to take strong antibiotics to get for the water infection. So I said, okay. Thank God Julie was staying with me, and she said, please don't take the antibiotics because my head still isn't 100% in this Nature's Cure. I think it is now. I think because she tested me, I didn't take the tablets. I went back a week later. I haven't got a urinary tract infection. She had a little grin on her face and she said, you haven't took the tablets neither, have you? I said, no. So she said, okay. And she asked me what I did. I haven't really done anything, but what Victoria, Nature's Cure, advised me is no starch for a little while. So that's no bananas and starchy foods. Well, the only starchy food I really have are bananas. So I left aside the bananas for a little while. And I just, you know, carried on as normal. So I don't believe in having salt in the diet. I think I've proved to myself that if I have anything salty in my diet, my blood pressure is absolutely perfect. That's the second thing I want you to buy, guys. If you're not well and you've got heart problems, you need the thermometer, you need the blood pressure monitor, you need to go with a Nature's Cure practitioner or maybe Dr. Douglas Graham. If you're not ill, you could go with Dr. Douglas Graham. You know, none of it costs fortunes. So let me just see if it's still recording. Yeah, none of it costs fortunes, you know. So why did I say you needed a blood pressure monitor? Forgotten where I was going with this. Yeah, so you need a blood pressure monitor. My blood pressure is perfect now. Even when I was going through a high healing crisis, I never needed my blood pressure monitor. But you do need it, guys, because if you're on medication and you want to come off your medication, then you've got to take your blood pressure the day you start the diet, and then carry on taking your blood pressure, because what you'll find is your blood pressure will start dropping, and then you need advice, you know, shall I cut my pills down, shall I come off my pills? And it happens quite quickly. Your life turns around very quickly. You go from walking like this to like running, honestly, within my stomach is just, you know, like I can touch my toes, I can jump up on the, you know, like I just amazed at how I feel. One thing Victoria does tell me to do is not to, for 3 years, she said I shouldn't be on Facebook, that I should conserve my own energy, get my own health well first before I start telling the world, you know. But I can't do this, guys. I haven't got long in life. And I know that that some people are really ill, and they need to hear what I have to say, you know. And so I have to forfeit whatever but I enjoy doing it, you know, but I have to forfeit what I might be gaining from keeping my life tranquil. So I think that's enough for today. That's, you know, tomorrow I'm going to cover my diet, what I eat, and the naughty things that I have introduced since Julie Barry's been here. I have introduced some naughty things back into my diet, only a few little naughty things, but I am noticing a difference. I've got like the roof of my mouth's a little bit sore, and my tongue also gets a little bit sore, and I know what it is, but I'll talk about that, because my body is so fantastic now, you know. I think I should tell you this one as well before I go. In the morning when I wake up, there's no sign of me gonna have a poo, but Nature's Cure taught me to lay on one side and breathe in, pull my stomach muscles in to the count of 100, lay on my back, you pull your knees up in all three, lay on my back, pull my knees up, pull my stomach muscles in to the count of 100, move to the other side, and then I get up, I pull my nets back from my curtain on my bed, I sit down and look at what you guys have sent me. Within 5 minutes, I have to go to a poo. Well, I squat now. I squat because the squat position means that the poo comes out mine glides out of me. That's Julie's phrase. My poo glides into my commode. I use the pot of a commode, and I squat in my bedroom. I know it's not, and then I empty the poo after, but I do like to look at my poo as well. I like to see where I am, because my poo tells me about that I'm drinking enough water. It tells me if I'm chewing my nuts. It tells me if I'm not having enough water. I see so much in my poo. So that's how fantastic my body works, you know. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about my diet, what naughty things that I do. And I just want you all to remember that, and I must remember that all illnesses stem from toxemia in our body. I think it takes 30 years, you know. So when we start, I'm so devastated because my kids and my grandchildren are not doing this, and they're not going to do it. They're not going to listen to a silly old 61-year-old, even though they see how healthy I am. But their excuse is, but she's a bit thin. If I was looking stunning, if I'd have done this years ago and I was looking stunning, maybe my kids won't listen to me, and my grandchildren are suffering, you know, and there's nothing I can do about it, you know. But maybe when I'm gone, this video is still going to be out there, and my kids, you know, when they and they are that, so you know, they have got things wrong with them already, you know, and I know it's toxemia. Even our brain is full of toxemia, and our brain starts to get clouded over and bogged down. You know, that's why I suffered depression, because of the toxemia in my brain. Once you free it all from your body, then, and you won't go to the garage and put unleaded in a leaded car. Your car's not going to move a mile. Well, your body, after 30 years, believe me, oh, I haven't got no symptoms. There's nothing wrong with me. You've got symptoms. Bye, guys.